incredible environment to play in here. I grew up in Lone Tree, Iowa, right outside Iowa City, and never been to Madison to play a game. The very first Wisconsin player I think I remember was Wesley Matthews. It was crazy that he was here tonight, played for Steve Yoder. What an incredible fans, great team. You know, we got off to a great start. It really helped us. When you went on the road, you got to get off to a great start on offense, and we shot it well. We shot it well for pretty much the entire game. But they put us in a lot of problems. You know, Chucky Hepburn had a heck of a game. He made some incredibly tough shots. We had a hard time guarding them in the post, so we played them one-on-one, then we doubled them, and when we doubled them, they made threes. You know, we just got enough stops, you know, at the end of the game to win it. Incredible resiliency by Tyree Appleby. You know, he had a heck of a game. And we lost a game like this about a week ago to Loyola Marymount. We didn't foul. Came down, they made a three and went overtime and lost. We tried to foul this time twice. Actually, the second time, I think Chucky thought we were going to foul and he threw it up there. But it's a great win for our program. I know this is a really hard place to play. I have an unbelievable amount of respect for this program and Coach Gard and the past. And so I walk out of here with a lot of pride for Wake Forest winning here tonight.
Take questions. We have microphones on each side. If you can flag them down if you have a question. Abby in the back.
Coach, your guys limited Wisconsin to just 22 points in the paint, despite Steve Crowell and Tyler Wall being a pretty dominant front court. How much of that was your game plan, and how much did it contribute to your win?
Well, I think that's why we won, but that was the hard part. Like, there were some times they had their way in there, you know, and then we tried to play them one-on-one in the post. And then we went to double team when we call it monster, and we got some good plays, but then what happens when you do that, you have to rotate out, and they're good passers and cutters. They're really good at cutting off the ball. And so they found the open man and got a couple threes. So we just tried to keep them off balance, kind of like baseball. If you're a good pitcher, you got to do what? You got to change speeds. You know, you can't throw a fastball every time. And so we just tried to keep them off balance enough to where we could get one more stop. And we did at the end. And it actually ended up Matthew Marsh, our big guy, guarded Wall in the post and kind of forced him to miss.
Right here in front.
Ty, you had a couple of big threes at the end, but you were also getting your way inside the paint. Coming into this game, what was your mentality against a defense that really had held opponents below 40% for the majority of the year?
All throughout the week, we just practice, sharing the ball because, they like to pack in the paint a lot. So, just passing the ball, sharing the ball, get open shots, just get everybody going and, don't force too many shots. But I think my teammates, they were setting me up for, great positions. We had some great play calls that got me inside, that got me going. So that's about it.
Or on the left, Jeff.
Did you anticipate coming in that he would be a matchup problem for Wisconsin because of his quickness, his ability to do things on the outside, inside?
And, it's kind of a give and take, right? I mean, no offense, he's a small little dude, and they got some bigger guys, but he plays to his strengths, and we can play fast. And we have to score. And I felt like we had to be in the 70s to win the game. And I know only one team that got above 60, and that was Kansas in overtime, right? So I was worried about how we were going to score the ball. I wasn't so worried about how we were going to guard them. I figured, we'll figure it out, but could we score? And he got us off to a great, he got inside their defense. And now, they changed defense, they changed the way they guarded him too, ball screens, and he did a good job of reading that. Like sometimes when they're in the drop, you got to get in there and you got to come off of it early and kick it and make a three. And we did that early, then they edged, and then he got around, and they might have switched. Just all the credit to him for just always staying in attack mode, and being a guy that's plays with a lot of confidence.
Abby, back.
Tyree, you had 11 straight points to make it a 1-point game with 5 minutes to go. How big do you think your little run right there was in going over the hump to turn the momentum?
We came in the huddle, off the media. Coach told us, he said, we just got to calm down and we're going to get back in this game. So, that little, the 11-point scoring run, I think it just, comes, playing hard, playing with confidence, knocking down the shots. He always tells us, if you think it's a good shot, they think it's a great shot. So, just credit to, our coaches and, my teammates.
Chris, Trump.
Coach, Wisconsin's trio of Wall, Hepburn, and Crowell combined for a season-high scoring output tonight. What did you see from that trio, and kind of how did you try to
They shot with a lot of confidence. You know, Chucky made some big time shots. One at halftime, I almost threw up. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, you know. Wall's a problem. He's so hard to guard. He's so physical, you know, and he's a little unorthodox. So you foul him a lot, you know, and you're maybe not even trying to. And then, hey, listen, we knew Crowell could shoot threes, okay? But sometimes it's just give and take, man. You can't, you know, some things you just can't take it all away. You hope that he maybe misses a couple of those, but he didn't. And I told him that after the game. It's a heck of a game. He played great, you know, and those guys are really good players. And hopefully for them, it'll give them confidence offensively. Now that we're done playing, I don't want to give them any more confidence, but you know, maybe they'll play with more confidence too, you know, because they played with a lot tonight. And obviously you played at home in this incredible environment. I must tell you though, we were staying at the Sheraton, and I thought the arena was across the street, and it obviously wasn't. I said, well, I don't know what that is across the street from the Sheraton. That's like a hockey rink or something. But I thought that's what we were playing. I thought the bus driver got lost. I yelled at him. He said, no, we're going down to the coleslaw. I said, oh, damn. All right. But those guys are really good players, man. Well coached. I recruited Connor. I mean, Connor visited us in, you know, Wisconsin, and I think the world of him. I think he's going to be a great player for you too.
Coach Todd, congrats on the win. Tyree obviously the star today, but Hildreth, Monsanto, and Marsh all made huge plays down the stretch. Can you speak to the lift that they gave, and you know how you get juice from other guys stepping up?
You know, I think we got a lot of players, you know, that can score the ball. So you know, we don't just lean on me, you know, every time. You know, they made some big time plays and some big time moments, but you know, that's like the normal. You know, we think they can do that 24/7 all the time, and you know, we just came out there and got the win. I'm too happy right now. Sorry.
I'd like to leave one last thing. I am from a small town right outside Iowa City, 10 miles, and my school fight song is on Wisconsin. All right, so you know that. Don't be mad at me, 'cause that's our school fight song.
Coach, a question for you. Early in the game, Cam Hildreth, you had that matchup against Max Klesmit, and it seemed like you guys were trying to focus on that matchup. He had a couple of early points. Were you anticipating that coming into the game, or was that something?
I mean, I think when you run motion, you take advantage of the matchups, right? We run plays. We ran a bunch tonight, but we also run motion. It's not Bobby Knight motion. It's more drive, kick, swing, spacing, driving. But we do take advantage of certain things, you know, and yeah, I mean, I think when any of them have an opportunity they feel like they can take advantage of, then they do it, you know. And I give them a lot of confidence on offense. They'll tell you that. I tell them all the time, if you shoot a ball and look over at me, you're playing for the wrong coach. You know, you got to play with some swag, especially on the road. And so, you know, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was like planned, but we knew who we could go at and who we, you know, and how we could do it. And Cam did a good job. But they did a good job too. They came in and stripped him and ripped him a few times too, and he turned it over. I mean, we had 15 turnovers. So it's not like they didn't do a good job.
We have time for one more. Abby in the back.
I know your guards are typically your leading scorers, but your forwards were pretty limited offensively. Do you think that was because they were more focused on the defensive matchups with Wall and Crowell, or do you think Wall and Crowell were just doing a good job limiting them?
I think they did a great job limiting them. But you gotta understand, I have very young bigs. Zach Keller's a freshman. Matthew Marsh is a sophomore. Davion Bradford's a sophomore. And Bobby Clipman's a freshman. And Andrew Carr's a sophomore. And my fives didn't miss a shot. I'll take that every time. You know, now it was by committee, you know, 3 of them. But I think those guys are really good players. And so I didn't have any expectations that they would come in here and dominate those guys. But I felt like we held our own in there. And now in the last possession, when we really needed to hold our own, Matthew Marsh put his chest on Wall, and he forced him to miss, and we got the rebound. So it was wild. We should have had it, and then it got tipped. But I think those guys are really good players. I have a lot of respect for them.
Thanks, Coach.